Welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where in today's matchup is between the visiting Scarborough Red Storm versus the Portland Bulldogs. Coming into today's game, Portland lost 9-4 against Sanford on Saturday. That's their fourth loss in a row. So Portland's looking to get back into the win column in today's game, especially against this matchup. In last year's regular season, they lost to Scarborough 10-1, but in the round of 16, they upset the number 2 seeded Scarborough 5-1. So these two teams played twice last year, and it was 1-1, so we'll see who comes out on top with this game. But the starting batting order for Portland is Colby Winship, Ryan Becker, Henry Bibeau, Grant Crosby, Andrew Legier, Andrew Brewer, Anthony Bisco, James Gignac, and Aiden DeMillo. With Scarborough, they started off the season 1-2, but they've rattled off 3 straight wins. So they're coming into this game with the momentum compared to Portland. In the last game for Scarborough, Eric Swenson allowed 2 hits and he struck out 8 and walked 4 in a 2-0 win against Biddeford. So they can win close games, but they can also score some runs. And like I said, both teams split the series last year, but Portland won the most important game in the playoffs. So Scarborough's looking to revenge that loss. And especially the season they had. They only had 2 losses last year. And so they're looking to get a bounce-back win for the players that were on last year's team. So Scarborough is coming in with a batting order of Ashton Blanchette, Zach Sanders, TJ Laponis, Ben Sagan, Thomas Donahue, Mason Porter, Jason Laponis, Matthew Follina, and Connor Gower.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you to please rise as we honor America and those who protect her with the playing of our national anthem.
So defensively for Portland coming into this game, in the outfield from left to right, Aiden DeMillo, Carter Page, and Andrew Brewer. In the infield, left to right, James Gignac, Henry Bibeau, Anthony Bisco, Grant Crosby. Behind the plate is Ryan Becker, And the starting pitcher for Portland is Colby Winship. And leading off for Scarborough is Ashton Blanchette. The first pitch is on the outside corner for strike one. In the dirt for ball one. It's a 1-1 count. And it's popped up. And it's caught by Winship for the first out.
Well, I have to say, Seth, that it's been about a week or so since our last home game that we covered, and the temperature is definitely much more pleasant.
It's still windy, but it's not as cold. It's a foul back for strike one. And batting for Scarborough is Zach Sanders. It's in the dirt. It's a 1-1 count. It's definitely spring weather out there compared to a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's ripped into left. So Sanders gets a one-out hit for Scarborough.
The shortstop, number 1, TJ Laponis.
So TJ Laponis now batting with one out.
And we'll keep our eye on Sanders at first. Not a big lead.
And it's ripped into left field again. So back-to-back hits for Scarborough.
The right fielder,
So Ben
Seguin.
Seguin at the plate.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time. He took that first pitch, and he definitely ripped it. Wow.
And Seguin hits it to left. DeMillo gets the out, and the runners stay put. So 2 outs.
Yeah, he had a good beat on that one.
The Red Storm center fielder, number 11, Thomas Donahue.
So Thomas Donahue coming up for Scarborough with 2 outs.
Yeah, and the last homestand we saw for Portland and Deering, the wind really wreaked havoc.
And it's hit but foul down the third baseline.
There were a lot of balls hit into the outfield that, on a normal day would be, sort of routine, maybe a little bit iffy to get to, but you could get to them. But when the wind was blowing the last homestand, 20, 30 miles an hour, that ball ended up all over the place.
And it's in there for strike 2. So Winship 1 strike away from getting out of this inning after allowing back-to-back hits. And it's brushes off Donahue for ball 1. And it's spin move by Winship to check on Sanders at second. And it's fouled back.
Yeah, it just caught enough of that to stay alive. I mean, that wasn't really a hard swing. I think that was more protecting the plate.
And it's in the dirt. Stopped by Becker.
Yeah, nice stop. You definitely don't want anything past you right now and have the two runners move up.
So it's a 2-2 count to Donahue. And Winship spins off the mound again.
A little bit of cat and mouse going on.
And it's popped up. And Bibeau calls everyone off to get the third out. So Winship gets out of the top of the first after allowing back-to-back hits, but Scarborough doesn't capitalize on that. So after half an inning, it's Scarborough 0, Portland coming up. So setting defensively for Scarborough in the outfield left to right is Ashton Blanchette, Thomas Donahue, and Ben Seguin. In the infield left to right is Matthew Fallina, TJ Laponis, Jason Laponis, and Mason Porter. Behind the plate is Connor Gower, and the starting pitcher for Scarborough is Harrison Griffiths. Here we go for the bottom of the first. Leading off for Portland is Colby Winship. It's on the outside corner for strike one. It's down low. It's 1-1 count. And Winship hits it to Porter, and Porter steps on the bag for the first out.
Yeah, a little bit of a bobble, but he had plenty of time to scoop it back up and get the out unassisted.
So Ryan Becker coming up for Portland with one out. And that's foul tipped into the umpire.
I think everybody got a piece of that. The batter hit it. I think it tipped off the glove of the catcher and off the mask or shoulder pad of the umpire. Nobody got hurt, so that's good. Maybe the catcher went out to talk to the pitcher for a second to give the umpire a little bit of a break.
And it's high and inside for ball one. It's right down the middle for strike two.
Yeah, even though the catcher and the umpire have protection on, there's still parts of the body that are exposed to that hard baseball. Legs, hands.
And it's hit to Laponis, and Jason Laponis bobbles it, but gets the ball back and throws it to first in time for the second out.
Well, you know, when you stay in front of the baseball and you bobble it, it generally stays in front of you so you can scoop it back up.
So Henry Bibeau batting for Portland with 2 outs. It's down low for ball 1. And it hits him. So Bibeau gets a free base. It's a painful way, but it's a base nonetheless.
Yeah, and as I was saying about the catcher and the umpire, at least they have a little bit of equipment on. Bibeau, not so much, but he looks okay.
So Grant Crosby now has a chance to do some damage with Bibeau on at first.
Being held on, he's not a big lead. Second baseman's close enough to the bag.
And a pickoff attempt is not in time. And another pickoff attempt.
Well, I can see where this game's going. You know, the pitcher for Portland was keeping track of the runner at second, and now the pitcher for Scarborough keeping track of the runner on first.
It's on the outside corner for strike 2.
You know, and maybe both teams thinking that this could end up being a 1-0 game. And they got to keep people from moving around the bases.
And Bibeau takes off. And he gets thrown out. So Gower with a nice throw down to second to get the third out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he overslid the bag and tagged him before he could get his foot back on. I think he was initially safe, but, you know, you can't do anything about that when you're hustling down to second. Sometimes you slide over the bag.
So Scarborough gets out of that inning after hit by pitch. And so after one complete, it's Scarborough 0, Portland 0. Here we go for the top of the second. Leading off for Scarborough is Mason Porter. It's on the outside corner for strike 1. It's outside for ball 1. 1-1 count. And it's ripped to Gignac. And he doesn't have to move.
Well, I'll tell you, the way they're hitting the ball, you know, you got to have some good reflexes.
So Jason Laponis at the plate with 1 out. And it's a bunt. And Winship picks it up and gets the out.
Yeah, that's a good play by Winship.
So Matthew Filona at the plate. with 2 outs. It's on the outside corner for strike 1. Up high. It's a 1-1 count. It's on the outside corner for strike 2.
That was a beautiful pitch. Kind of pitch you need.
It's outside for ball 2. It's a 2-2 count. And it's hit to center, and it drops down. So Falona gets a 2-out single. So Connor Gower has a chance to extend this inning for Scarborough.
And we'll keep our eye out on the runner at first. He's got a decent lead on Winship over there.
And that's hit to Bebeau, and he fires over and gets him. And it was a one-hop snag by Crosby as he stretches out to get the third out.
That was a beautiful play. I mean, you definitely, with a runner taken off from first and the long throw over from short, you definitely don't want that ball getting away.
So after allowing a 2-out hit, Portland gets out of this inning. So after 1.5, it's Scarborough 0, Portland 0. Here we go for the bottom of the second. Grant Crosby at the plate again after Bebeau got thrown out at stealing second. So we'll see what Crosby does with his at-bat after a nice snag at first to get the third out.
Yeah, he definitely made a nice play at first.
It's up high for ball 2. It's a 2-0 count. And it's foul tipped into the catcher's glove for strike 1. And it's high and inside, brushing off Crosby for ball 3. Make it a 3-1 count. And it's on the inside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, Crosby was like, nah, I don't think so. But as we always say, the strike zone in high school ball is a little larger than the plate.
And strike 3 on the outside corner. So Andrew Legier coming up with 1 out. And Legier hits it into right foul territory, and Seguin gets the out.
Yeah, he had to wrap around the end of the wall over there, and he kept his wits about him and made a beautiful catch in foul territory.
So Andrew Brewer at the plate with 2 outs. It's in there for strike 1. Low and inside for ball 1. And Brewer hits it, but it's foul down the third baseline.
Bounces off the wall.
So it's a 1-2 count to Brewer. Way outside for ball 2. And it's popped up and just into the stands. And I have to say, there is a larger crowd than the past couple of home games. And that probably has to do with the weather. Ball 3. It's a 3-2 count. 2 outs. And it's fouled back into the net.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty decent student section down there by the dugout for Portland.
And it's outside for ball 4. So Brewer gets a free base with 2 outs. So Anthony Bisco comes up for Portland.
Well, Scarborough pitcher has had 2 runners on, let 2 runners on, but no hits.
And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
First inning, he hit a batter. Second inning, he's walked a batter.
And checks on Brewer.
Brewer does not have a big lead.
And Brewer takes off, and it's popped into left into the visiting pitchers.
The bullpen.
That's what it's called.
I know sometimes you get a little bit of a brain cramp there, but that's where the pitchers are. It's okay. Oh.
And Brewer takes off again. It's outside for a ball, and he's slides in there. So the first steal of the game is to Portland.
And he didn't overslide the base. He was in there perfect. And we'll see what happens here with 2 outs.
So it's a 1-2 count to Bisco. And he fouls it back. And Bisco hits it to Jason Laponis, and he fires over to first for the third out. So 2 innings in a row, Scarborough's allowed a runner on first, but each time they've gotten the third out after. So after 2 complete, it's Scarborough 0, Portland 0. So leading off for Scarborough is Ashton Blanchette, and he hits it to Bibeau, and he's safe.
I was looking through this little screen, so I really couldn't tell. I thought that was a line drive to Bibeau, but it bounced in front of him?
It did.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that in-between hop can be, that in-between hop can be dreadful to wait on it and then throw it over. And that was a close play at first.
So Zach Sanders is up.
Huge lead.
And Blanchette, I didn't mention, popped up to the pitcher the last time at bat. And Sanders got a base hit. It's ball 1. And it's fouled back.
So Scarborough, that was their 4th hit here. And, so far they haven't scored any runs, but they are hitting the ball pretty good.
And it's popped up. And it's off of the top of the dugout. So it's foul.
And as you can see, the shadows now from the setting sun going across the field. The pitcher is in bright sunshine, and home plate starting to get in the shade. So not sure whose advantage that'll be.
Checked on Blanchette. It's a 1-2 count. And it's a stolen base by Blanchette.
Well, that was a little risky, but I think, he did take off because, that was like a delayed steal. Maybe he was.
I believe Becker wasn't paying attention to thinking he wasn't going to take off. And Blanchette probably noticed that and took off. So Sanders battles back to make it a full count.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're back there, it's, you're getting ready to throw the ball back to the pitcher. And if the runner has it in their head, they're going to take off. All they need is a split second of distraction, and they take off.
And swing and a miss. So it's 1 out.
Yeah, the batter helped out Winship by swinging at a high pitch.
So TJ Laponis comes up to the plate with 1 out. Chance to put a run on the board for Scarborough. And it's popped up into shallow right. And Brewer gets the second out. It was too shallow for a tag up.
Wow.
So Blanchette is still on second. With Ben Seguin at the plate.
Well, Winship needed that. As I said, he got the help on the swing at the high pitch for a strikeout. Oh, intentional walk.
So
And what did that batter do the last time they were up to earn an intentional walk?
The couple batters, TJ Laponis had a hit, and Ben Seguin flew out to left field.
Wow. I'm surprised they intentionally walked him to get to this batter.
And meeting of the pitching coach and the infield at the mound. And maybe the intentional walk had to do with if it's hit to third, it's a quick tag of third base for an out.
Well, we'll see what Winship does here.
So Thomas Donahue has a chance to knock in some runs, and it's lined into left, and it's caught by DeMillo, and DeMillo and Page ran into each other, but DeMillo still had the ball in his glove.
Yeah, having zoomed in on that and saw that whole action, fortunately neither one was injured and the ball didn't fall out. That was a beautiful running catch too.
And so after 2.5, it's Scarborough 0, Portland 0. Here we go for the bottom of the third. James Gignac leading off. And it's hit to TJ Laponis, and he fires over to first for the first out.
Had him in plenty of time.
So Aiden DeMillo at the plate.
And it was DeMillo that made the catch of the last out and held on to the ball. That was good. He did have to run pretty far, though, to get it.
And it's fouled back. So it's a 1-1 count. And it's high and inside for ball 2. And that's hit into center And Donahue runs back and gets the second out. So back to the top of the lineup for Portland with Colby Winship.
Colby Winship.
And that's hidden to left, where Blanchette gets the third out. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Scarborough. And so after 3 complete innings, it's Scarborough 0, Portland 0. Here we go for the top of the fourth. Leading off for Scarborough is Mason Porter, who lined out to shortstop. And a misplay by Bisco has Porter on at first.
He overran it just a little bit, just enough that it went off the tip of his glove.
So Jason Laponis comes up, last time grounding out to the pitcher. And it's a bunt. And just like the first time he was up, grounds out to the pitcher.
But he moves the runner up, and now there's only one out with a runner in scoring position. And as I said earlier in the game, this could be just a one-run game.
So Matthew Filona at the plate. Last time he got a single. And that's popped up, and it's in the stands. So 0-1 count.
And Winship needs a nice, easy pop-up like that to an infielder. Unfortunately, that one went foul.
It's in the dirt for ball 1.
Nice stop by Becker.
And it's in there for strike 2.
So Winship's got to work himself out of this. And so far this game, he's put pitches where they've needed to be.
And it's fouled back.
And it looks like someone's warming up in the Scarborough bullpen out there.
And it's up high for a ball.
Well, and, you know, I'm thinking that Winship was hoping he'd swing at the high pitch like one of the other batters did. And that's a good waste pitch right there.
2-2 count. And it's popped up. And this is on the field, so Crosby is able to get it this time for the second out.
Well, and that's what I said earlier. He needed a nice, easy pop-up to the infielder, and he got one.
The catcher, number 8, Connor Gower.
So Connor Gower comes up with 2 outs. Porter on at second.
So now Winship's got Scarborough right where he wants him.
And it's high and inside.
Well, and you can't have a ball being thrown around like that. You got to be real careful. You can't give up an easy move up on the bases.
So 1-0 count. And it's foul tipped into the glove of Becker for strike one. And it's hit out to right where Brewer gets the third out. So Portland gets out after letting a runner on from an error and got 3 straight outs. So after 3.5 innings, it's Scarborough 0, Portland 0. Here we go for the bottom of the 4th. Ryan Becker leading off. Last time he was at bat. Grounded out to the second baseman. It's in there for strike one. Forgot to mention Winship. His last at bat. Grounded out to the first baseman, and last at bat he flew out to left. So Becker with an 0-2 count. And it's in there for strike 3. So a quick out for Scarborough. So Henry Bibeau now up with 1 out. Last time at bat was hit by a pitch and then got thrown out stealing. It's down low for ball 1. And rips it past TJ Laponis for a single.
And the official scorer has given that a hit. So that's Portland's first hit. It took till the bottom of the 4th to get one of those.
So Grant Crosby at the plate with 1 out. Last time at bat, he struck out looking. And this time it's a dribbler to Griffiths, who fires over to first for the second out.
It's not a bunt, just as good as a bunt.
So Andrew Legier coming up with 2 outs. Last time he flew out to right field. And it's a intentional walk.
Well, a lot of gamesmanship in this game so far.
So that brings up Andrew Brewer. Last time was also intentionally walked in the second inning.
Well, let's see what he can do.
It's ball 1. Sorry, he was walked on pitches.
Well, it's interesting that they intentionally walked someone so that the righty could pitch to a lefty.
It's fouled back for a 1-1 count.
And when you're a batter, you know, when they intentionally walk the batter in front of you to get to you, you're like, okay, bring it on. And we'll see what he does.
And it's up high for ball 2.
Being very patient.
Brewer also had a stolen base his last time. And it's in the dirt for ball 3. Bebeau on at second. Legier on at first. And it's up high for ball 4. So Griffiths walks the bases loaded. And it
The second baseman, number 1.
looks like
Anthony Bisco.
the pitching coach is going to talk to Griffiths.
Yeah, the pitcher that was warming up in the bullpen is no longer down there. So they're probably already warmed up to come in if need be. But Portland with a huge opportunity here.
So Anthony Bisco has a chance to make up for his error by giving Portland the lead. And it's outside for ball 1.
Yeah, the pitcher's having a hard time finding the strike zone. So, the batter could just take a few pitches and see what happens here.
And it's low for ball 2.
Wow, and the way this game's going, if it comes down to a run scored on a walk,
And it's high and outside for ball 3.
I mean, Portland right now only one hit in this game, and that came by Bebeau. And we're in the bottom of the 4th.
And it's on the outside corner for strike 1.
And I'm sure the batter is taking this pitch also.
And it's a walk. So Bebeau's coming in to score to give Portland the lead.
And it looks like we are going to have a pitching change. And we'll have to see who's moving around from where.
And so we'll be back with all that information. So, a couple changes. Ben Seguin is now pitching. And Zach Sanders is in right field. And James Gignac at the plate. Last time he grounded out to shortstop. And so far it's a 2-0 count. In there for a strike. It's a 2-1 count.
Yeah, Scarborough's got a big hole to dig out of right here.
And it's ripped foul towards the Scarborough dugout.
Wow, that hit in the only spot that could get that ball to bounce back right to the catcher, and it did. You couldn't plan that, but it was perfect.
So 2-2 count with 2 outs, bases loaded. And it's hit. And that's going to bring in 2. So Legier and Brewer both come in to score. So Portland's broken this game wide open.
Well, and you know, the old adage is when you walk a batter, sometimes it comes back to haunt you, and it's haunted Scarborough here huge.
So Aiden DeMillo has a chance to add on to it, but he pops it up. And it's not caught, so it's just a foul.
All right, well, we'll see what DeMillo can do with getting a second chance there.
And DeMillo last time lined out to center field. And foul the back.
Well, that's the closest one so far. I will protect the camera, so if you see the camera start to go sideways, I'm reaching for a baseball.
And it's in there for strike 3. So Seguin gets the third out, but not after Portland gets 3 runs on the board. So after 4 complete, it's Portland 3, Scarborough 0. So leading off the top of the 5th for Scarborough is Ashton Blanchette. Ball 1. Last time at bat, he got a single and a stolen base. And this is hit into right center. So leadoff hit.
Well, and Scarborough's got to get some runs back, and that's a good way to start.
Zach Sanders at the plate. Last time up, struck out swinging. And that's hit into left. And DeMillo gets the out.
Nice running catch out there. He's made 2 nice running catches out there today.
So TJ Laponis comes up with 1 out. Last time popped up to the right fielder.
Well, Winship's getting some good play behind him out there defensively. When he's needed it, his team's been there.
And that's head out to right field.
Yeah, not much you could do about that. There was no way he was going to be able to run in and catch that. So heads up play, let it bounce, keep it in front of you because runners only move up 1 base.
So Ben Seguin at the plate. Last time was intentionally walked. Foul back into the net.
Well, Winship's definitely got his work cut out for him now.
And Seguin's not going to be intentionally walked this time, especially with only 1 out and runners on first and second. But he gets a hit, and Blanchette's getting sent. And that's the first run for Scarborough.
Well, Scarborough's hitting it where the outfielders are not placed and baseballs are dropping in.
So Thomas Donahue now at bat. Last time flew out to left field. Has a chance to get another run for... And it's not in time for the double play. So that's another run for Scarborough. So TJ Laponis got the run. So Mason Porter now up. Last time got on with an error.
Well, now it's 3-2. So Scarborough coming right back here.
And a potential steal, and that's in the outfield. So Donahue gets all the way to third.
Well, that's really unfortunate because, you know, Portland had a 3-0 lead. And yeah, a couple of runs have come in on some bloop hits, but you certainly don't want to help the opposing team move their runners around the bases.
It's outside. And it's hit into the outfield to center, and Scarborough ties the game back up.
Well, just like that.
So 4 hits, scores 3 runs. So Jason Laponis now at the plate. Last time bunted to the pitcher for the ground out. And a steal by Porter gets him. Makes up for the throwing error to get the third out. But Scarborough puts 3 on the board to tie it up. So after 4.5 complete, it's Scarborough 3, Portland 3. Here we go for the bottom of the 5th. Colby Winship at the plate. And Portland broke the scoring open, and Scarborough said, whatever you can do, we can do just as good as you can. It's up high for a ball. It's a 1-2 count.
And I was thinking here, why did my screen light up, but the lights came on?
It's fouled back. Still a 1-2 count.
So the picture that the video you're now seeing looks a little bit clearer now that the lights are on.
And swing and a miss for strike 3.
The catcher, number 21, Ryan Becker.
So Ryan Becker comes to the plate. Last time he struck out looking, and it's a timeout.
We're going to have the coach talking to Becker. Not quite sure what the timeout is all about. Well, that's
and
interesting.
there's someone warming up in the... Couple people warming up in the bullpen. Maybe the strategy to give them more time to warm up.
Yeah, where the starting pitcher Winship just hit. I mean, that could be it, Seth, that, there's one out and, they're concerned about how quickly Scarborough will get Portland out, if at all quick, and certainly not give the Portland pitchers a chance to warm up.
So it's a 2-0 count. And it's inside for ball 3. It's down the middle for strike 1. So it's a 3-1 count. And it's ball 4.
Well, the Scarborough pitch is certainly helping Portland out with allowing time for the Portland pitchers to warm up. We can have a pinch hitter. Yeah, they're all coming in. So let's see what's going on here. The umpire is saying, let's go, let's go.
And so Henry Bibeau at the plate. Last time got a single and scored the first run for Portland. Right down the middle for strike 1. And Bibeau must have been one of the people up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, he does come in to relief pitch.
And it's fouled back. So it's an 0-2 count. And it's hit to TJ Laponis. And it's a double play. So that ends the inning for Scarborough. And so after 5 complete, it's Scarborough 3, Portland 3. Here we go for the top of the 6th. Jason Laponis at the plate after pickoff out. So he's back up. Last time he grounded out to the pitcher, and a couple changes for Portland. Anthony Bisco is at shortstop. Henry Bibeau is pitching. And not sure who number 23 is. He's not on the roster.
Playing at second. Yeah, I zoomed in, saw the number, but it's nowhere to be found written down anywhere.
And it's hit foul. The Portland players letting it roll foul.
And that's a good heads-up play, letting it go foul. But they also have to worry about that ball spinning. And the thing is to touch it or catch it out foul, because if it spun back fair, it would have been a fair ball.
And it's hit into right, and Brewer gets the first out.
The third baseman, number 5, Matthew Bologna.
So Matthew Filona comes up after last time at bat. He popped up to the first baseman in foul territory, and this gets just fair.
Boy, I'll tell you, Scarborough all game has been hitting the ball just out of the reach of the outfielders for Portland, both right, left, and center.
So Filona on at first with Connor Gower. At the plate. Last time he lined out to the right fielder. And Filona with a large lead, tempting Becker to throw it to first. And that's hit to the second baseman, flips it to Bisco, and throws it to first for the double play. So that gets Portland out of the inning. And so after 5.5 complete, it's Scarborough 3, Portland 3. Here we go for the bottom of the 6th.
I believe he did say Ethan Terrio is number 23.
So Grant Crosby last time grounded out to the pitcher. Ball 1.
So now we know, Seth, who number 23 is. It's Ethan Terrio, who started out a great double play at second.
And that's hit up the middle into center field for Crosby.
Well, that's a good start here for the bottom of the 6th. I mean, all Portland needs to do is score one run and hold Scarborough in the top of the 7th to win. Not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but, you know, it is the bottom of the 6th.
So Andrew Legier
And now
up.
and Crosby's being held on.
And that's skied into foul territory. It's in the stands. So Legier, last time he was up, was intentionally walked and scored a run. And that's ripped foul.
Well, the one thing about Portland batters today, they definitely have been getting the bat on the ball. And we'll see what they can do this half inning.
And that's ripped into left.
Well, there you go.
So 2 hits so far in the bottom of the 6th.
2 straight hits, yes.
Fielder number 27, Andrew Brewer.
So Andrew Brewer
And,
now up.
and we'll have to see if Brewer lays a bunt down to kind of to move the 2 batters up. First baseman's in on the grass, probably anticipating it.
And he's not on that pitch, which is up high for ball 1. Brewer last time got walked. And that's ripped. Fair.
And here comes the go-ahead run.
Crosby scores.
3 straight ripping baseball hits.
So Portland regains the lead.
The second baseman, number 1, Anthony Bisco.
So Anthony Bisco has a chance to tack on more runs for Portland. Last time got an RBI walk.
Nobody out runners on first and third here for Portland.
And a check on Brewer.
And the pitcher for Scarborough really needs to be careful throwing that ball over to first with a Portland runner on third.
It's up high for ball 1.
And at this point, it looks like this pitcher is it for Scarborough. No one's warming up. Doesn't mean anyone can't come in, but
It's low and outside for ball 2.
boy, Portland is really, really showing something here tonight. They are really, this is awesome.
And it's fouled back for strike 1. Time was called. And it looks like gonna talk.
I mean, we're in the middle of, the batter up here, so can't imagine that there would be a pitch and move, but a lot of strategy going on, possibly talking about if the runner takes off from first, because it is a 2-1 count.
Yeah, I believe that the only way that the pitcher can come off the mound during an at-bat is an injury, which doesn't look like the case, so probably just settling Seguin down.
Well, we just got to be careful here. Who actually, the pitcher does have the baseball. I was thinking after all of that, maybe there's a little trick play in there, but no, I see the ball in the pitcher's hand, so you always have to be careful about that. You never know what happens.
And the pitcher steps off, fakes the throw to both bases. And it's up high for ball 3. And it's in there for strike 2. So full count to Bisco.
And there's a big wide open hole over there. The runner on first is being held by Scarborough.
And a step off. And it's a ball 4. So Seguin walks the bases loaded with James Gignac up. Last time got a 2 RBI single. On the outside corner for strike 1.
And the pitcher for Scarborough's really struggling throwing to left-handed batters.
And it's inside for ball 1.
Scarborough infield is all up on the grass.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. And it's foul tipped to stay alive.
Yeah, that was a good attempt. You don't know if that would have been called a strike or not, so you kind of protect yourself there.
Low and outside for ball 2. And it's low and outside for ball 3. So full count with no outs. Legier on at third, Brewer on at second, and Bisco on at first. And it's strike 3. It drops in there.
Well, a much-needed strikeout for the Scarborough pitcher.
So pinch hitting now is Mason Rang. And the umpire has to write it in his book.
Number 9, Mason Rang.
So Mason with a chance here.
Up high for ball 1.
It's been a long half inning here for the Scarborough pitcher.
And it's hit foul.
Handcuffed pitch.
So it's a 1-1 count. It's on the inside corner for strike 2. And swing and a miss for strike 3.
Wow. Pitcher for Scarborough is
The second baseman, number 23.
Ben Seguin.
yes. Sorry, I couldn't remember his name, but Seguin's just 1 out away from getting out of this inning, only giving up 1 run.
So this is Ethan Terrier. Oh and 1 count. It's fouled for 0 and 2 count. So Ben Seguin has a chance to get out of this inning. And strike 3. So 3 Ks in a row to get out of the inning for Scarborough. But Portland puts 1 on the board to take the lead. So after 6 complete, it's Portland 4, Scarborough 3. Here we go for the top of the 7th. Ashton Blanchette batting. Last time he got a single and scored. It's outside for ball 1.
And I can hear the Scarborough bench trying to rally the troops.
And that's popped up to left. DeMillo gets underneath it for the first out.
The ball looked like it bounced a little bit in the glove, but he caught it.
So Scarborough down to 2 outs to work with Zach Sanders coming up. He flew out to left field, his last at bat. Outside for ball 1. And Sanders rips it to Bisco, and Bisco had to put his glove all the way to the dirt to catch that.
That was a beautiful play. You know, you're only up by 1 run. You need some great, great plays, and that was one of them right there. And we're going to have a visit to the mound. Interesting with 2 outs.
And TJ Laponis.
We're going to have a pitching change? Or going to have people move around? No? Well, he was pointing to the outfield, pointing to the infield, just maybe doing placement.
And it looks like...
They're all playing deep.
And I believe TJ Laponis cranked it to left field the last time he was up at bat. So it's...
Oh, beautiful pitch by Bobo.
So probably hedging their bets that he's going to line it into left field again. And it's popped up, and it's in the stands. So Scarborough down to their last strike with 2 outs. And it's fouled. So TJ Laponis staying alive with an 0-2 count. And it's high and inside for ball 1. And that's hidden to right, and Brewer gets underneath it, and Portland gets the win. And that was a 3 up and 3 down. So Portland back in the win column.
And that was a great win. And you could see the team celebrating out on the field.
So
Ladies and gentlemen,
Portland
thank you very much for coming. We hope to see you
led off
back
the scoring in the
evening for
bottom of the fourth with 3 runs, and then Scarborough
have a great rest of your evening.
ended up tying the game at 3-3 the next half inning. And so, but Portland gets that 4th run to win the game 4-3.
What a great win. And, they were held hitless there for a while. And, Scarborough still out-hit them. But Scarborough got their hits early and spread them around a little bit. But what a big win here for Portland.
And especially that with them only scoring 1 in the bottom of the 6th after having bases loaded, it didn't come back to bite them.
Yeah, that could have been some lost opportunity. But Bobo came in and he really pitched well and held, in relief, held Scarborough to no runs when he came in. So it was a real nice pitch relief effort.
And he definitely came in, and after a half inning where Scarborough seemed like they were hitting everything in no man's land, and he came in and shut them down after Scarborough scored 3 runs to gain some confidence. He took that confidence right away from them, and Portland came out on top. And it was definitely a team effort.
Yeah, I mean, some really good plays. A play earlier in the game could have been a bad thing for Portland when the center fielder and left fielder ran into each other on a fly ball that the left fielder caught and held on to. That could have been bad, not only for the fact of the Scarborough batter getting on, but potentially either or both of Portland's outfielders getting hurt on that play. But fundamentally, Portland really played well today. Infield, outfield made some beautiful catches, staying in front of the ball. Really, really happy for this team.
And so Portland wins this game 4-3 and saying so long. This has been a production of TV3 Portland Public Schools saying good night.